Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Want to do a really quick video on the arrest of Ilhan Omar's daughter at Columbia, reportedly Thursday, April 18th, 2024. It's a big news story today, Friday, April 19th. But I titled this video Political Theater because we all know that phrase, but I think it's part of a joke that's going over a lot of our heads. A lot of the things orchestrated in the world of politics are theater to keep people trapped in a system, taking part in one side and blaming the other, all the things that come out of politics. Most people call it voting for the lesser of two evils at this day and age. But along with that terminology, so is political theater. And long ago, I started to realize something about this political theater, and then I started to realize there was a number ritualism to it. And the number we're going to talk about here is 56. Uh, this year is the 56th anniversary of Shirley Chisholm becoming the first Black woman elected to U.S. Congress. She went to Columbia, where this arrest happened at Columbia. Barack Obama went to Columbia. He was at Columbia the same time Shirley Chisholm was. But Obama, he won the 56th U.S. presidential election. So 56 is going to be a big theme in this post. Kamala Harris became the first Black woman to take office at age 56. And the 56 in this story is that the daughter of Ilhan Omar, Isra Hirsi, I might be saying that wrong, apologies if so, but her name, her birthday is February 22nd, 2003. She turned 21 in February. From February 22nd to her arrest, April 18th, was 56 days later. And again, this number is super special. There's a reason there's 56 signers on the Declaration of Independence. But we're not taught this in our 13 years of slave school, pledging to 13 stripes, where we didn't learn about the secret societies that are into Kabbalah, which has this little code of letters and numbers. And notice, if you're new here, to get these values, you just take the alphabetic order. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z, the 26 letters, 26. And you also take it with numerology applied. So if you take the alphabetic order, A is 1 up to Z is 26, subbing the letters for numbers and adding the value of the name, her name adds up to 110. I would be the 9th letter of the alphabet. S would be the 19th. R would be the 18th. A would be the 1st. H would be the 8th, so on. 110. If you apply numerology, so I is the 9th letter, so the first letter name is still worth 9, just like it was in the other cipher, but where it changes with S. S is the 19th letter. The numerology of 19 is 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. So S becomes 1. So if you add the name with numerology applied, it equals 56, like Washington, D.C., like Society of Jesus. And again, the Society of Jesus is who's given us this language and this calendar in the 16th century, in the century of the Jesuits. Again, all these things happen at the same time. And you pay attention, all throughout history, this number code has been in effect. So today, April 19th, the day after the arrest, this is all over the news. It was talked about throughout the day. The headline news, they're still talking about it. Today's the 110th day of the leap year. So on the 110th day of the year, we're hearing about the story of Ilhan Omar's arrest, which happened yesterday, 56 days after her birthday. The name Robert Kennedy equates to 156 big way, 66 small way. He was shot on the 156th day of the year and died on June 6, 6. Again, you learn these ciphers, you see how they come together a lot. Now, with regards to her daughter being a young Black woman, Black Lives Matter, again, has that gematria of 56. They painted Black Lives Matter on Church Street in D.C. on the 5th day of the 6th month. Again, Obama, the first Black president. And again, it's not me who chose to call a group of people Black. I know a lot of people don't like that word, but again, it's just the culturally accepted word. What I'm exposing is what's going on within this cultural programming, what's behind the language, the rituals, how they perform these stunts to just keep people pointing fingers and picking sides. Again, you see certain people who are so invested politically, they just like hate these characters. They hate the squad, you know. You should not be emotionally invested in this theater. This is a grand manipulation, and it has been for a long time. What I want to remind people is it was a couple years ago Ilhan Omar was arrested, and other members of the squad. We were talking about that then, how it was on the 201st day of the year. Again, if you're new here, the Jesuit order equates to 201 in Gematria. The first Jesuit pope's the first to live in Suite 201. Today, the day of this news is April 19th, the day in history that Ignatius of Loyola became the first superior general of the Jesuits. His name equals 201, like the first Jesuit pope, Pope Francis. His name, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, equals 201. The last French pope was the 201st in the history of the church. The Jesuits are from France. Paris, France equals 56. So does Pope. The founder of the Jesuits, Ignatius Loyola, died in 1556. This 56-201 is a big thing. Event 201 was the pandemic simulation. The first case in the world when the news broke in China was 56 days after Event 201. In English, light equals 56. In Hebrew, light equates to 201. Knowledge is light. In English, the phrase knowledge is power is 201. Anyhow, this 201-56 is huge. And of course, 201 in terms of numbers is a lot like 21, where Jesuit equates to 21 in the big way. The Jesuit orders 201. And the 21st century started off with a bang with the Twin Towers becoming 0 before they became One World Trade Center. And we've talked about how the Spice Girls both into one to become one song with the music video at the World Trade Center in the background, how it was put out at the same time as George Tenet becoming the head of the CIA. And that was 247 weeks earlier, and World Trade Center's 247. Again, these things aren't an accident. I wish they were. First day of the Pope's age, and the CIA has a whole bunch of 201 connections, and some people call the CIA the Catholics in action, and the Jesuits serve the Catholic Church. But yeah, 56 days after the daughter's birthday. Just not an accident at all. And then Ilhan Omar's birthday is October 4th, the day they did the alert in Russia and the U.S., the day that foretold what was coming on October 7th with this, latest religious conflict, as they use Ilhan Omar in the post-Barack Hussein Obama age, who was part of the post-9/11 age where we were made to be afraid of Saddam Hussein and Osama bin Laden. And that's the other thing, too, about the 110, you guys. Osama bin Laden equates to 110, and the World Trade Centers were 110 stories tall. And again, Ignatius Loyola, Mr. 201, 2 towers became 0 before they became 1. The Jesuit motto at Georgetown is both into 1. How they could put it in a song by the Spice Girls, this international group. There's just so many angles to explain the New World Order angle, but ultimately understand certain patterns like 56 and the Jesuits, just over and over and so redundant. In my last book, Number Games, 9/11 to Coronavirus, focuses on how important 56 was in both rituals in a major way. I just, if people would just learn this and pay attention day after day, they would see. Sure, at Columbia, 56 years ago, Shirley Chisholm was becoming the first Black congresswoman. She went to Columbia. She crossed paths with Obama, who won the 56th election. He went to Columbia, too. It's not an accident this movie was put out about Shirley Chisholm this year on Netflix on the Ides of March. On the Ides of March, very Roman. Data connected with the assassination of Caesar in 44 BC, and Obama was number 44, elected 44 years after the Civil Rights Act. And its leader, MLK, was killed on 4/4. And Malcolm X was killed on 44 date numerology. But Ides of March has that 56 gematria connection as well. We were talking about this back when the movie came out. Right at the beginning of the movie, if you haven't seen it, just the way they code 42 all over Black history. For the record, Shirley and Chisholm, 42. A white congressman at the beginning of the movie mocks her about how he makes $42.5K a year and she doesn't make nothing. He's saying, you wish you had my salary, $42.5K. Again, these numbers, they've been here since the beginning. They've been dividing us with these rituals that are all full of these numbers. And Shirley Chisholm left office in 1983. That is the same year Barack Obama left Columbia. Yeah, you guys can go back and watch the video I just did on Shirley Chisholm and the greater connection. There's more information here that is interesting. But yeah, we'll keep this one short and sweet. Again, political theater. You learn this code, you'll see how the headlines are contrived literally every single day. And then if you can get over your cognitive dissonance, you can realize we've all been duped and lied to in this media government. It's not on our side. It's here just dividing us, scaring us, manipulating us. And it can come to an end. People demand it. People stop participating in it. So yeah, we'll leave it there. And have a great rest of your day, your evening. And for the person in the chat who says it's international, indeed it is. It's absolutely international. The Jesuits are worldwide. Their founder died in 1556. In the time of COVID, again, the 56 rituals were going on all over the world. To make a long story short, it went down 56 years after Trump's Jesuit education began. Pretty much every big name in the pandemic equals 56, or had a 56 connection, or was the 56th governor of New York and went to a Jesuit school like Andrew Cuomo. Yeah, these patterns aren't an accident. You learn the numbers, what they're about. In COVID, it all went back to that lab in Wuhan with the lab leak theory, and the lab was established by the French in 1956. You guys are new here. Coronavirus is 56. So many rituals with 56 in COVID. Unbelievable. But again, like we were saying then, that number wasn't just about coronavirus. It was about the gang who continues to pull the strings and manipulate. Event 201, 56 days later. Event 201 put on by a Jesuit, Klaus Schwab. All right. Until next time, True Seeker. Thanks again for hitting the like and the share.